Yeah. Making her way to the mic. They start dimming the lights. You start feeling alright. From Birmingham, home of the Teddy Longs and the Ruben Studders. More once you discover. For all of the lovers, Whitney Houston and Roman Reigns. For all of the lovers, and Mickey James and Marvin Gaye. For all of the lovers, and Sasha Banks, Janelle Monáe, Silk, Sonic, and Paige. Allow me to say, look, I just found a place, sweet escape. Every one of us, I was kinda late, 'cause I just made it off the struggle bus. Walking by the fate, 'cause I know it's right in front of us. Yo, I ain't with the hate, gotta focus on what's great. Ladies and gentlemen, Steph Hardy is on the air. Had to
Hey y'all, welcome to a new episode of Steph and Kat Talk WOW. And this is, of course, the interview portion of our show. Of course, I'm your girl, Stephanie Hardy, host and creator of the Hardy Wrestling Podcast and writer for Daily DDT. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm with my partner in crime. She is the creator of In Cat We Trust, Katrina Blake. And we are here with the iconic, the amazing, the talented, and the beautiful WOW Tag Team Champions, Kona and Kaoz, the Tonga Twins. How are you, ladies?
We're good. Thank you for having us here today.
Yes, it is such an honor to have you ladies on our show. We've been wanting to talk to you guys for so long. So to start off, I want to ask you guys, when did you fall in love with wrestling?
Ooh, I fell in love with wrestling when I was little. When I was probably 8 years old. Same. Yeah, because we were wrestling each other.
That's sweet. I'm a twin. I have a twin brother, so that's actually what I see. My twin brother, he used to do stuff, and then I had to kind of retaliate because I'm kind of tiny, and so had to retaliate. But I started watching wrestling about 6, so that's super awesome. I think it's awesome that you guys are twins. Yes, twin brother.
Has fraternal twins too, a boy and a girl.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we're my mom's first, and we are fraternal twins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Especially being the older one. I always have to rub that in his face. Look, I got here first.
My daughter's the oldest too by 1 minute. And
oh, mine's just 10. I think it's a 10-minute difference between me and my twin. So my mom had to wait a little bit.
So twin thing.
Yes. So my first question to you is, again, we've been watching you guys since this first season of the iteration of WOW. And so what are some things, one, we've definitely felt you should have been tag champs a lot sooner. This is something I think we complained about quite often on the after show, just like, why they don't have championship belts yet? But what are some things you learned about yourself as a team from season 1 to currently now while you guys are tag champions?
Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, learning how to work together even more when we have, people like the other twins trying to compete. So, we had to learn how to work together even more as a tag team. For me, what about you, Kaoz?
I think what have we learned? I feel like we just got stronger from season 1 to season 2. We just got stronger and stronger, and like we're so in sync, like really in sync, like we don't even know that we're in sync, and then we rewatch our match, we're like, oh wow, we were really that in sync. We just got stronger together, I would say.
Yes, and then speaking of your rivalry with the Carlson twins, Miami Sweet Heat, it's very funny, how they have basically turned out to be your one true pairing in that rivalry, because you guys have been facing each other, made history together as the first set of twins to ever face off in the ring together, and now they're the #1 contenders for your WOW Tag Team title. So what would you say is your new strategy going up against a team like them who are just willing to do any and everything to win those titles back?
Watching out for Vicky Lynn, the enforcer, clearly, and Penelope Pink. Because we can
Yeah.
handle them in the ring. It's the shenanigans.
Yep. It's when they come out of nowhere. So we just gotta watch
alert.
our backs at all times. We don't have like a whole faction like them. We just have Tiki, and so I say we just stay on all 10 toes and just watch left and right. I would say.
Nice. Yeah, to be fair, I definitely complained a little bit about them being number one contenders. This is no hate to them. It's just like I'm like, you guys been fighting them for so long. Let's bring in the fresh meat, you know? Like I want to see you guys just dominate all the tag teams there. And so my question for you, just because there was a lot of shenanigans, one of my favorite words I love to use, but there was a lot of shenanigans, especially with Miami Sweet Heat and the Fab Four and all of that. And so because you had to wrestle them so many times, what are some things you learned about yourselves wrestling them as many times as you have?
That's a good question too. What have you learned, Kona? I'll let you go first.
I went first the last time. I'm trying to think. That's a great question.
I've been asked
to come through with the questions.
What have we learned from them? I guess. You never know with them.
That's a good question.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back to that one. I want to ask.
Okay, well, no problem. If you want to come back to that one. Well, one question that I do have for you guys is that ever since this iteration of WOW has started, you guys have sort of become the pillars of the show. So what has it meant to you to be a part of something that is for the empowerment of women as a whole, and also just being, you know, a pillar of a show that just really puts women's wrestling out there? And what more do you want to see from WOW?
It feels good, actually, just to be put on a pedestal like that and have this big platform. And for us, it goes back to why we started: lack of representation of people who look like us. Not just, well, of course, we don't really see a lot of Tongan females on TV. And then not just that, we're big girls too. So both. It feels really good. And then to be your WOW tag team champs, that's even bigger. It's for a whole island, for all the little girls out there who look like us. It feels good. Cheap Kona.
I agree with you, Kaoz. Everything you said, and just being a part of a franchise that represents women empowerment, and that's everything we're about. So it just feels great to be a part of this.
I love that answer, and I think that's something me and Steph have said before about what we like about WOW is just that there's so many different types of women. It's not what you would expect when you think of wrestling from like 20 years ago, how different it was for women in the industry. And so to have a promotion where you have just so many different ethnicities, but also just different characters that are just so different is something I'm like forever grateful that we were introduced to the WOW promotion, just to kind of see that as a wrestling fan. And so my question to you is, again, you guys, as Steph said, were the first set of twins to kind of have a standoff in a wrestling ring. And we know that usually we have twins, it's the twin bond, the twin magic, whatever you want to call it. And so what is something that the bond between the both of you, how is that something you kind of used to implement when you are wrestling and kind of just making sure you're both on the same page?
I would say, because we are twins, if I'm off on something, she's right there. She's right there to feel that. And now that I'm thinking with Miami Sweet Heat, I feel like because they're twins too, and they have that bond, that's why every time we get in the ring together, it's always like you can feel it's different when we go against other tag teams. That's what I was.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so with all of that in mind, who would you say is your favorite WoW superhero or superheroes in the tag division that you also like to watch yourselves?
Oh, for
I
me, I love watching the Mother Truckers.
don't say
I love
that.
watching them. They're
Yeah, I
fun to
like
watch.
watching the mother truckers because they're a family, we're a family, and they don't cheat like the other twins. But yeah, I've been watching them, and we was watching. They should have won last weekend, is what I would say. I forgot Miami Sweet. He did cheat the Fab Four, used the mirrors, and so yeah, I would be watching the mother truckers.
Yes, you guys did mention that on commentary when you were watching the Fatal Four Way to determine the number one contendership. And I thought that was really interesting how, in all of the matches that you guys have had, y'all really had never faced Big Rig Betty and Holly Swag. So I was sort of, looking for them to win too. But, the Fab Four just, has to fandangle their way into things. But
Right.
either way, there's the energy of family. And I really think that's interesting. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting how that's going to happen, but I do have confidence you guys can pull through with that victory.
Yeah, I really want to go against them. Family versus family. I feel like that would be a really good match to see. Mother Truckers versus the Tonga Twins.
I would like to see that match too. I definitely kind of agree. When we watched the episode of Miami Sweet Heat, one was like, what is this? Like we were just hoping for not to kind of have them win it just because they're always engaging in shenanigans. They definitely are. And so my thing for you is the road for you guys to become the tag team champions was a long one. It was a tough one. It was quite difficult. There was a lot of things thrown your way before you got the belts. And now, again, Miami Sweet Heat are the number one contenders. And so what is kind of the plan to make sure that after you have their match with them again, that you guys still have the titles when the match is all said and done?
I'm gonna have to request that David bars that whole Fab 4 or 5, whatever you want to call them, out of our match if we have a match with them. What would you say, Kona?
And if we do have a match with them, we're gonna have to put some Barbies on the shelf.
That too.
That's
all I
pretty
got.
funny. That's pretty funny in the sense of, Barbie and just how she's just everywhere at this point of life. But one question that I do have for you guys, in speaking about family, is that you have mentioned before that one of the main reasons why you got into wrestling was the fact that you guys met The Rock's mom, Ada Johnson, at a Fifth Harmony concert. So how does it feel to have the encouragement of someone who has such a rich background and a rich history in wrestling?
Oh wow, that's easy. That's an easy answer. If Arthur Johnson, I mean the Rock's mom tell you you're gonna make history, you're gonna make history. So you take that advice and you roll with it. And me and my sis took that advice. Look what we did.
Made history. Shout
We're
out
not
to
done yet. Thank you, Auntie Ata.
So just a little bit off of wrestling. Again, you guys are twins. I have a twin brother, and it's like we're cool, but I feel like it's not the same level. I feel like of twin bonding necessarily where you have like same sex twins. And so, what are some things you guys like to do together that you can bond over, and then something you kind of it's very separate for the two of you. Like you like, oh, you like this, and you kind of like, girl, please vibes. What is something that you guys do bonding together, but it's something that's kind of just for you as your own person?
I know our bonding is eating. She likes, but we both like to eat. So
Yeah.
for together, she's always like, "Let's go eat this place." But then,
And then
when
this
I say
place.
that
And then this place.
she likes to go to buffets. I don't like to go to buffets.
And
I
music.
always
Ooh, we'll just sit down and vibe to music all day.
no, but we have different tastes of music too. She
Yeah.
listens to reggae, and I like my Chris Brown.
Yeah, but I listen to books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that because I do not have a twin sister, but I have a younger sister and we're 8 years apart. And we have different, varying tastes and things. But, when we're together, we're together. And that's a very
Yeah.
beautiful thing that I love in seeing. That's something that you guys represent as twins and as sisters, and even as women of color. And in speaking of being women of color in wrestling, what is something that you want to see more of when it comes to women of color in wrestling, rising above and just having more opportunity?
I would say for our culture, I would love to see more Tongan females in like just on TV period. This is where it's not a lot of us, and so hopefully we'll just see more of that soon.
I would love to see more more opportunities like the guys get, like ladder matches, cage matches, all of that.
Oh yeah, that too.
I love that. And so my final question for you ladies is, what are some words to the WOW locker room? You guys are at the top of the tag division. You guys are the champions, so it means you have a target on your back. And so what are some words you got for the people coming for these titles?
Like words from from the other girls?
No, words
Or
that you
words?
have to them. Yes.
Oh, we're the
A
best
message to the locker room. What'd you say, Kona?
we're the best tag team here. If you want to step up to the island, you're gonna get thrown out the island.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're on Tonga time.
And I
Well,
think I would say, anyway, if anybody wants to come at us for our tag team belts, we'll be anybody, anytime, any day, anywhere. It doesn't matter.
absolutely. Well, the one thing that we love that you two represent is the fact that you guys are really strong and you're beautiful women of color in wrestling, and you are so successful and you have reigned really well with the Wild Tag Team Championships. So thank you guys, Kona and Kaoz, for coming on
Thank
Steph
you.
and Kat Talk
Thank you.
WOW. And just, well, you're welcome to come back at any point and any time, and we'll be happy to have you. And we're just looking forward to see more of your success.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, we're gonna have to run this back again soon.
Absolutely.
Would you ladies like to give your social media in case somebody, well, they should be following you, but if they aren't following you, what is your social media so the audience can give you guys a follow and follow along your journey in wrestling?
You can
Yes.
follow me on Instagram at Kona Tonga _wow.
And you can follow me, Kaoz Tonga _wow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Speak.
And we have the
Oh, yeah. We have our Tonga page, Tonga Twins _wow.
Thank you, ladies, for coming on Steph and Kat Talk WOW.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Chee-hoo!
Thank you, ladies.